What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's the Resistance. Shout outs to everybody that's in here. Appreciate y'all. Hey, I'm still not over what happened yesterday. I may have went to bed early. I got up super early, and first thing that was on my mind was the McMichael's sentencing. And I happened to find an on-camera live reaction of the McMichaels, not just of Roddie McDowell from what I streamed yesterday. That was crazy. I was very upset that I couldn't get the reactions of the McMichaels from where I was streaming from yesterday. But shout out to everybody in the chat. We're going to go over it. I found it. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I didn't see it, and I just wanted to bring it to y'all because I wasn't able to bring y'all the on-camera live reactions of the McMichaels from yesterday. I got it now, though, so if y'all want to go over it, let's go over it. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Snapface, Melissa Middleton, Loca Resistor, Weymouth, UK, my man, Kendra Owen. Appreciate y'all. So yesterday, like I said, it was a very joyous day. Okay. I do have a little critiques concerning Roddie Bryans. I'm not too stressed over what he received. Okay, he was a tag along. He was a third wheel. Okay, he got what he deserved. I was mostly concerned about the McMichaels, and I pretty much called it yesterday in the stream. I said that at least those two would get life without parole. I said Roddie Bryant might get cut a little slack. I mean, it wasn't hard to figure it out. We seen everything that happened. Shout outs to Joey Eccles from Kansas. What's going on? All the way from Kansas. Joey Eccles, my man. Kendra Owen said, but he had the opportunity to help Arbery and instead chose to join the lynch mob. And that's the true point that she just made. That is very, very true. And that's one of the critiques that I have towards the end when the judge speaks to Roddie Bryant about his sentence. So, yeah. And that, to me, aggravates his case. Also, Kendra Owen. True. Yes. Because the little move that he made with his pickup to try to force Ahmad into the ditch or whatever, or the side of the road, yeah, that aggravates the situation, of course. Shout outs Resistant Level is futile. Good Saturday to you as well. For sure, Snapface. But yeah, a lot of things that we missed yesterday if you was on the Resistance platform, because where I was streaming from only showed what the judge was saying, and it only showed Roddie Bryant. I don't know why I want to keep saying Roddie McDowell. That was an actor from back in the day. I keep saying that. But no, I keep thinking that in my head. But Roddie Bryant was the only face that we seen other than the judges yesterday from where I was streaming from. But I came across this, and we got all faces, ladies and gentlemen. We see all reactions. Shout out to Tommy Guns. Bye Killers. I know that's right. We got all faces. We got all reactions. I'm going to be pointing out some things as they receive the time being shoved up their ass by this judge right here. Okay? So, start off a little bit.
And today the defendants are being held accountable for their actions here in Superior Court. Today demonstrates that everybody is accountable to the rule of law. Taking the law into your own hands is a dangerous endeavor. I'm not sure how this comes across. Say it anyway. I think ultimately, with regard to the murder of Ahmaud Arbery, it holds us all accountable. I read somewhere, and I don't remember where it was, that at a minimum, Ahmaud Arbery's death should force us to consider expanding our definition of what a neighbor may be and how we treat them. I argue that maybe a neighbor is more than the people who just own property around your house. I also believe that in assuming the worst in others, we show our worst character.
I was very, 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 very surprised to hear how this judge forecast the sentence before he actually sentenced their dumbasses. If you go to my stream yesterday, as he was speaking, I was saying their asses are done. It was telling. Before he sentenced, he was very telling. I was surprised because I've never seen a judge do that before. Never. It's always what they have to say without being, on anybody's side, and then surprising you with the sentence of roofing your ass. I never seen a judge forecast it the way he did. It was so telling. I just knew that their ass was grass. The way he was speaking is talking about, let's have a minute, 1 minute, a fraction of the time of when Ahmaud was running. So let's take a minute of that and put it to the side and just chill right here in this courtroom in silence for 1 minute. That was very telling. Shout outs to Steph. Hello, good morning, y'all. I'm watching from Michigan's Upper Peninsula, all the way from the Upper Peninsula. Steph, shout outs to Steph. Yeah, it was very telling for him to do that. Once he did that, I said, wow. And if I was any one of the McMichael's or Roddie Bryans, my ass would have been melting in the wooden seat as he was speaking like that. Kendra Owen, all the way from Indiana. Thank you. Thanks for joining. By the way, guys, I'm out of Boston. I'm out of Boston with this broadcast.
Assuming the best in others is always the best course of action. And maybe those are the grand lessons from this case. I will let others spend as much time as they want writing about it and talking about it. But those are my general thoughts with regard to this case and sentencing.
Shout out to Wayne Barnes. He says, that judge surprised me as well. Yeah, for him just making that statement right there, and that's all I'm going to say about this case, told me that they were going to be doing some time when it came down to him running the sentence on their asses. I knew it. All you got to do is go back to the stream from yesterday. I called it. They sitting up there looking like some goof troops the whole time, even through trial, sitting up there looking like goof troops, as if they were going to get themselves up out of this shit. And their lawyers was even looking more sillier. Their lawyers were looking more sillier. Look at the one right here. This one, crop top, right here. You can see my cursor, crop top. This one, she had the nerve to talk about Ahmaud's dirty feet. You piece of shit. You should be the laughing stock of your fucking office right now, okay? You should feel like straight shit. You piece of shit. You deserve to defend no motherfucking body. And that's real rap right there. The shit that you said about his feet, what the fuck did his toenails have to do with a goddamn thing? Not a damn thing it had anything to do with. She slid that in because I really truly believe under those flappy breasts that she has under that zebra outfit on, in that heart right there is true racism. That's what I believe. And this fake Howard Stern looking cat right here, I don't know what to say about him right now, but he's just neck as long as a giraffe, defending these murderers. Neck longer than his tie, and he's defending a murderer. Cold-blooded piece of shits these defense lawyers are. I'm telling you, these defense attorneys, they are pieces of shits. Don't trust them just as much as you don't trust the prosecution. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, they could not ignore this one. They could not ignore this one. Don't jump all into the prosecution's back pocket and start loving on them and plucking their peckers. No, they're pieces of shits too. Yep. They're pieces of shits too. It's just that the state, the government, the people could not ignore this. It had to go. They were so fucking dumb that they lost their own ball game by killing the man in broad daylight for just running through Satilla's shores.
That said, with regard to the sentence in this case, as to Travis McMichael, Mr. McMichael, the court sentences you as follows. Count 1.
Did you notice that little forward push he did? Oh man, he is anticipating this shit. Okay, he's hoping that this judge says not guilty. Trust me, he's hoping that the judge says not guilty. Watch how he leans forward. He's
the sentence in this case as to Travis McMichael. Mr. McMichael, the court sentences you as follows. Count 1. Malice murder, life without the possibility of parole. Count 2, felony murder, is vacated by operation of law. Count 3, felony murder, vacated by operation of law. Count 4, felony
look at him.
Vacated
Look at
by
this.
operation
You
of
can
law.
see his mask is moving because it's either his lips, his tongue, or his jaw. It cannot stop, being mobile right now. You can see that. The fear have just sunk down on him. All right? He knows that what he has looking forward, it's not good. It's not good at all. I wouldn't be surprised if he takes self-lockup from the door. He might even be on self-lockup in transit on the bus to the prison. There's a little compartment in the back that separates you from all the other prisoners on the bus. Okay? He might be so scared that he might request to be back there on the other side of the fucking guard.
Count 5, felony murder, vacated by operation of law. Count 6, aggravated assault, merges into count 1. Count 7, aggravated assault. Court sentences the defendant to 20 years consecutive to count 1. Count 8, false imprisonment, merges into count 1. Count 9, attempted false imprisonment, 5 years concurrent to count.
Eyes keep fucking blinking. I didn't see his eyes blink not one motherfucking time when he was going through trial. Now, all of a sudden, he got an eye twitching fucking problem. As the judge is running these numbers, or should I say letters, down his fucking throat. Okay? He's acting as if he shouldn't be receiving this shit. Are you fucking crazy? Wayne Barnes, the 3 McMurderers earned every bit of their motherfucking sentence. I agree. I totally agree.
Count 8, false imprisonment, merges into count 1.
Look at his eyes.
Count 9, attempted false imprisonment, 5 years concurrent to count 7. That is life plus 20.
Lips quivering and eyes twitching. None of that was going down when he was running down on Ahmaud Arbery. None of that shit was happening. He was focused. Well, he was jabbing the shotgun back and forth into his midsection until he said boom and killed him. There wasn't no eye twitching going on then. There wasn't no mobility of the lips or of the jaw or the tongue that's making that mass move on his pinkish face. No. He had murder in his eyes when he was doing that to Ahmaud Arbery. See, I want the same fucking energy that you had when you was in the Satilla fucking shores running down Ahmaud Arbery. I want that same fucking energy. But I can't get that now as the judge runs these letters down your fucking throat plus 20 years.
Greg McMichael, the court sentences you as follows. Count 1, malice murder, defendant was found not guilty. Count 2, felony murder, life without the possibility of parole. Count 3, felony murder, vacated. When I say vacated, it's vacated by operation of law in all cases. I'm not going to repeat it. Count 4, vacated. Count 5, vacated. Count 6 merges into count 2. Count 7, aggravated assault, 20 years consecutive to count 2.
This motherfucker, you could just see murder all over his face. Okay? He was a smug face motherfucker the whole time. You know, at least Travis McMichael looked like a bitch the whole time. Ever since after he killed Ahmaud Arbery, he looked like a straight bitch. Like nothing should have happened to, nothing should be coming his way. But this motherfucker, the dad, the ex-law enforcement.
Aggravated assault. Court sentences the defendant to 20 years consecutive to count.
The ex-law enforcement had murder all over his face. I would hate to have been Ahmaud Arbery around the dad. Even though the son was the killer, the dad was the driving force.
1. Count 8, false imprisonment, merges into count 1. Count 9, attempted false imprisonment, 5 years concurrent to count 7. That is life plus 20. Greg McMichael, the court sentences you as follows. Count 1, malice murder, defendant was found not guilty. Count 2, felony murder, life without the possibility of parole. Count 3, felony murder, vacated. When I say vacated, it's vacated by operation of law in all cases. I'm not going to repeat it.
He's feeling it, though. He's definitely feeling it. He felt that shit. That judge hit that shit. Wow! Life without parole. He felt that shit. He had to scratch the side of his motherfucking face. But it still has murderer written all over it. He still has killer written all over it, ladies and gentlemen. Fuck this piece of shit, too. I hope he gets everything he deserves. Everything. He took that sweet boy's life in commission with his son, ran him down, didn't have a care in the motherfucking world during those 5 minutes that they were fucking with Ahmaud Arbery. Didn't give a fuck about him. And now he expects the judge to give a fuck about him. I didn't know the judge was going to be so hard on their asses. But we knew how straight up the judge was by his statement before giving the sentences out. He spoke how he felt. And I knew from right there and then, it was their fucking asses.
Count 4, vacated. Count 5, vacated. Count 6 merges into count 2. Count 7, aggravated assault, 20 years consecutive to count 2. Count 8, 10 years concurrent to count 7. Count 9, 5 years.
This one right here, this person right here, following me on Facebook. I can't pronounce your name, but I will read your comment. He said, they thought they had this one. Been doing this killing thing, you know, for centuries after century, 120 years, good shit. That's good shit. Life plus 20 is good shit.
Concurrent to count 7. That is life plus 20 years. Roddie Bryans, I do want to separate a little bit because the state is making a different recommendation.
Goofball Brian, the one who was dealing with his trinkets on the porch and seeing that a lynching was going down, an attempted lynching was going down, and he could not resist himself to join the fuck in. Shout out to Rio. Rio was the one that said 120 years is good shit. I agree. But back to Roddie. He could not resist to not join in a good old lynching. I wonder what the call was. You got a nigger? Hey, come on. We got a nigger. And he joined right on then. That's what he heard. That is what Roddie heard. Why else would he join in some shit like that? Shout out to the Resistance South. Good morning. Spooky press on free. Eddie Sanchez, my man. Eddie Sanchez. So he heard that there was, I got a nigger call. And he joined right on then. It was very exciting for him. It was something that he probably didn't engage in a long time, and he couldn't fucking resist it. Used his vehicle to try to sideswipe poor old Arbery in a goddamn ditch. Can you imagine running for 5 minutes of your motherfucking life from 3 white men who got the devil running all up in them? That's some scary shit. This motherfucker should have got life without parole. He should have received life without parole because he didn't think. He just jumped in the shit, and his actions contributed to the death of Ahmaud Arbery.
And despite the back and forth that Mr. Goff and I had during this case, I do want to point out a couple things that he raised that I think are appropriate to raise with regard to the sentence. As far as the remorse, I think Roddie Bryans stands in very different shoes.
He doesn't stand in very different shit, Judge. I looked at you differently yesterday and thought that you handed out everything equally. Well, now I have a little different. I know now that you had to, go hard on the McMichael's, but if you were able to smooth things over with this sentence, you would be able to do so, and you did it with Roddie. Roddie deserves to be in that motherfucking prison without parole, just like McMichael's. Just like Daddy McMichael and Bitch Boy McMichael. All right? He deserves to be in the same situation that they're in. I don't agree with you with that, Judge. I think you should have gave him the same shit because he joined right in without thinking.
Again, a disturbing image, and they walked away. This was a killing. It was callous, and it occurred. As far as the remorse, I think Roddie Bryans stands in very different shoes. It is obvious from the beginning that he questioned the tragedy that had occurred at the scene. It was on I can't remember whose body cam, but the body cam, in fact, questioning whether or not what had occurred, and then took steps early on in this process, I think, that demonstrated that he had grave concerns that what had occurred should not have occurred. And I think that does make
no grave concerns. He was just the smarter of the white men to realize he needed to backpedal because the shit was wrong. He's already made his motherfucking decision when he joined in with his vehicle to sideswipe poor old Ahmaud Arbery and try to switch him into the ditch. That's aggravated assault with a deadly motherfucking weapon. See, Judge, I'm not crazy. Okay, I know you tried to put a little Vaseline. I know you put a little Vaseline on this shit and smoothed it off. All right, I ain't mad, but this motherfucker needs to get the same time that those motherfuckers got. But it's all right though because they got federal charges coming down on their asses, and they probably gonna pull a move like sweet old Chauvin did. We know what sweet old Chauvin did, right? He took those easier accommodations and club fed. You bitch motherfucker. But guess what? He got more time out the shit. See, now you got to weigh the options. Okay, I got asshole full of time. Where do I want to spend it at? Do I want to spend it in penitentiary evil? Or do I want to go to club fed? See, he had guys waiting in line to get a piece of that Chauvin ass. Oh, yeah. Waiting in line.
Mr. Bryans' situation a little bit different. However, Mr. Bryan has been convicted of felony murder. And I do not believe it can be disputed based on the facts of this case that the verdict was an appropriate verdict based upon the evidence presented, at least. And when I say appropriate, what I mean is legal. Because I believe there's been some discussion about some differences between Mr. Bryan and the McMichael's. There may be some differences, but it does not change the fact that was it not for the fact that Mr. Bryan used his vehicle in a way to impede Mr. Arbery's course of travel, this may not have ever occurred, and that is sufficient for felony murder. He did cooperate with law enforcement.
Yes, he did.
I will point out Mr. Goff, 17.
But that's called the backpedal and pussy pop. He was just smart enough to realize he fucked up and, well. And I know what the judge is speaking of. He's speaking of the statement that he made to the police officer on body camera when he said, well, maybe we shouldn't have been chasing him to begin with. He just backpedaled. He just realized quicker than the other two that he fucked up.
10-1B, there's actually a case out of Chatham County that says it would not apply under the circumstances of this case. So the court recognizing that Mr. Bryan's position is different. Again, Mr. Bryan was found not guilty on count 1 and count 2. Court sentences Mr. Bryan to life with the possibility of parole on count 3. Count 4 is vacated. Count 5.
Life with the possibility of parole. That's bullshit. He should get just as much of them because he moved without thinking. He was dealing with his little fucking trinkets on the porch, okay? He was doing his fucking MacGyver with his washing machine. He had carburetors and shit all stacked on the fucking porch, wires and shit. He hears something, he looks, and his dumb ass jumps right on in. And how did it end? Sweet Ahmaud Arbery was murdered. And guess what? He was there. He was there. Eddie Sanchez says, that's why we need change. They say with no change, history is bound to repeat itself. No way in hell is going to go down the way they had it back then. I keep saying for those who can legally carry a firearm, get it. Because not all think you deserve your rights. These clowns deserve what they got and more. Sorry about that, Eddie. Something got in the way of your comment. I kind of got messed up. But yeah, I dig what you're saying, bro. Yeah. If you're able to get it, you better fucking get it. Because all you hot blood, breaded red Americans that love that two-way shit, I took my own self out that game. I can't fuck with that two-way shit, okay? I took my own self out that game. But those that can, you better get your shit. Because they're making it harder on people to even get a weapon to protect themselves and their family. Oh, yeah.
5 is vacated. Count 6, the defendant was found not guilty. Count 7 merges into count 3. Defendant is sentenced to 10 years consecutive to count 3 on count 8, and 5 years concurrent with count 8. Both of those counts, though, will be suspended sentences, which gives Mr. Bryan a life with the possibility of parole sentence. The sentences, the court having pronounced sentence, first with regard to Travis McMichael. Mr. McMichael, you are hereby notified that under the law of Georgia, you are entitled to appeal the guilty verdict of the jury, and if you decide to do so, you must file your appeal within 30 days of this date. You are also informed that you have the right to retain a lawyer of your own choice to represent you on your post-trial motions and appeals to the appropriate appellate court of Georgia. If you cannot afford a lawyer, the court will appoint one for you. You are entitled to and will be given a transcript of all pretrial, trial, in post-trial matters without cost to you if you cannot afford a transcript. You may file a motion for a new trial, or you may appeal your case directly to the appropriate appellate court of Georgia for review. You are also advised that the statute of limitations for habeas corpus in this state is 4 years in the case of felonies and 1 year in the case of misdemeanors. The statute begins to run from the date the conviction becomes final. And just to be clear on the record, I'm going to go through the statement with regard to each defendant. So as to Gregory McMichael, you are hereby notified that under the law of Georgia, you are entitled to appeal the guilty verdict of the jury. And if you decide to do so, you must file your appeal within 30 days of this date. You are also informed that you have the right to retain a lawyer of your own choice to represent you on your post-trial motions and appeals to the appropriate appellate
As we
court.
continue to listen in here to Judge Timothy Walmsley in that Georgia courtroom, we have learned this afternoon.
I'm good with the McMichaels. I just think that the law should have been applied equally with Roddie Bryans. I ain't no big thing, you know. I'm not gonna be coming with no axe at the court system with this, but it just shows you how the law is not applied equally with everybody. He joined in. He should share the same deal that was given to the McMichaels. Simple as that. He helped with the killing of Ahmaud Arbery.
The young man who went for a run and ultimately ended up running for his life. ABC's Steve Ostensami has been covering this case from the start. He joins us live from Georgia.
Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I just wanted to go over that because what I streamed yesterday didn't show the reactions of the McMichaels. And, you know, it was very telling. Like, if I take it back, you can see things.
In this case,
You can tell that they know they fucked up.
I don't find that it really does. And I think that's an unfortunate. Count 1, malice murder, life without the possibility of parole. Count 2, felony murder, vacated by
Look at this right here.
operation of law. Count 3, felony murder, vacated by operation of law. Do it as follows.
Listen, you got 3 teams. You got Travis with his lawyer, which is on the right side, which is on the left side of him. And you have Greg with his lawyer, which is on the left side of him. And these two, Greg and his lawyer, are anticipating a good outcome for these two motherfuckers, right? His co-D, his co-defendant. And look at the reaction when they see that the judge cooked his ass. Look at these two reactions when they see that his ass got cooked.
Malice murder, life without the possibility of parole. Count 2, felony murder, vacated
Look at
by
that.
operation
Look at that.
of
You
law.
see that?
Count
Oh, this is some bullshit right here. That was their reaction.
Count 1, malice murder, life without the possibility of parole. Count 2, felony murder, vacated by operation of law.
What that tells me is that they know they fucked up. So they know they pretty much going to receive the same shit he got or close to the same shit. He knows that it's fucked for him, from what he just received.
3, felony murder, vacated by operation of law. Count 4, felony murder, vacated by operation of law. Count 5.
His muzzle starts to move vigorously. You know, you can't really see it as much as you watch it on TV, but if you were in the fucking courtroom, you can see that shit moving a mile a minute.
Felony murder, vacated by operation of law. Count 6, aggravated assault, merges into count 1.
It's coming.
Count 7, aggravated assault. Court sentences the defendant to 20 years consecutive to count 1. Count 8, false imprisonment, merges into count 1. Count 9, attempted false imprisonment, 5 years concurrent to count 7. That is life plus 20. Greg McMichael, the court sentences you as follows. Count 1, malice murder. 4, felony murder, vacated by operation of law. Count 5, felony murder, vacated by operation McMichael. Mr. McMichael, a separated life without the possibility of parole. Count 3, felony murder, vacated. When I say vacated, it's vacated by operation of law.
He just said fuck it. He flagged his hand and said fuck it. I don't need your consolement.
Life without the possibility of parole. Count 3, felony murder, vacated. When I say vacated, it's vacated by operation of law in all cases.
That's how you know they knew they fucked up. That right there, that's what we needed. That's what we was looking for. That's how we know they fucked up. They tried to stand strong that whole fucking trial, but see, it's the reactions. You got to look at these motherfuckers the whole time. Oh, they was Billy badasses all the way up from the time they killed Ahmaud Arbery. All the way up into the trial. And you just got to look at the little subtle breakdowns to know that they fucked up.
Felony murder, life without the possibility of parole. Count 3, felony murder, vacated.
There you go. I want to see the bitch come out of you. Yeah, I want to see that. That was if you missed what that was the bitch coming out of him. Okay? He knows what he's facing. These dumb motherfuckers, he got a brand new grandbaby, and his son got a brand new baby, and they out there hunting black men. In Satilla Shores, Georgia, that's what they put the baby down to hunt a black man. I'll be goddamn.
Law in all cases. I'm not going to repeat it. Count 4, vacated. Count 5, vacated. Count 6 merges into count 2. Count 7, aggravated assault, 20 years consecutive to count 2. Count 8, 10 years concurrent to count 7. Count 9, 5 years concurrent to count 7. That is life plus 20 years. Roddie Bryans, I do want to separate a little bit because the state is making a different recommendation. And despite the back and forth that Mr. Goff and I had during this case, I do want to point out a couple things that he raised that I think are appropriate to raise with regard to the sentence.
Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I'm done with it. I'm satisfied. I'm pretty sure everybody else is. Now we waiting on Miss Potter. We got that coming up. And then after that, we have the 3 other officers who participated in killing George Floyd. I think this is going to drag out into the spring. So you might want to hit that like. You also might want to join. This is the resistance. I bring it to you real. The shadow ban is real as well, ladies and gentlemen. I encourage you people to check your subscriptions often if you're joining in through YouTube. Okay? Yeah. Shout out to Spooky Press on Free. So, the shadow ban is real. They don't want you guys to hear the truth. On this day and age, truth is not popular. Narrative is what they want to put out there. Okay? They don't want anybody speaking the truth, and they don't want nobody hearing it. So the shadow ban is real, and I ask that you guys check your subscriptions often. Because they will, delete your ass, and you won't know. The whole time I'm back here working, putting out shit, back to back to back to back. 2-3 months go by, you don't even fucking know. Because you done shot so far down the fucking rabbit hole, the resistance has only been a distant thought. Especially when they deleted you. And that's just real. That's just facts. Y'all know how I talk. I just keep it real.
5 years concurrent with count 8. Both of those counts, the
Thank you for joining me.
which gives Mr. Bryant
This was the on-camera live reaction of the McMichael's and Roddie Bryans. I just wanted you guys, I don't know how many of you guys seen this. I didn't see it. I definitely didn't stream it from yesterday. It just showed the judge's face and Roddie Bryant's face. I did not see the McMichael's face, and I was quite upset with that. So when I woke up this morning, I searched and I found another. ABC was doing it. They showed everything. So now I'm bringing it to you. Shout out to Gio. Gio says, host, please produce more videos. Got a shitload of them. You can start on YouTube if you like. You can go on Facebook. Everything is on Odyssey. They don't take anything down on Odyssey. It'll never come down. It would behoove you to go to the Resistance channel on Odyssey and sign up on that, because if you're not able to catch it on YouTube, just in case they take it down or Facebook has a problem with it, it'll never come down on Odyssey. Shout out to Melissa Middleton. Spooky Press on Free. Malcolm Payne, he says, honestly, I'm still not satisfied being that the third guy should have had life without parole. So that was my whole speaking of when the judge delivered the sentence to Roddie Bryant. I agree with you, Malcolm. I feel the same way. Yesterday, I was just so happy that the McMichaels got their fair share. I didn't really concentrate too much on Roddie. But, after waking up from last night, I thought about it more, and I said, wait a minute. Roddie should get the same slice of cake that the McMichaels got. And that's just my opinion. You can say, the Resistance doesn't know shit or he's crazy. Hey, what you think is none of my business. This is just my opinion. It's just my opinion. Shout out Snap Phase. Snap Phase, he know about Odyssey. Odyssey real. They don't take nothing down. It's good. A good platform for anywhere else where they censor your content. You can't get your content across the board anywhere else. Odyssey is where you do it at. They let you speak over there. Oh, yeah. Gemini 7 says, what about the government employee who tried to sweep this case under the rug? Yeah, I'm waiting for that one too. Apparently, it's supposed to have been 2 of them, right? But only one is being held accountable. I'm waiting on that one too.
These sentences today help disprove that notion. They are strong sentences, life in prison, not at his side trying to help him. There are a lot of people who are looking at this case here in this state. Truck, he says that there was a frame in the video that really stuck out to him, and that was that after the killing, they turned their backs on the young man as he was dying in the street.
Mm-hmm.
They were not at his side trying to help him. There are a lot of people who are looking at this case here in this state who, to this day, still believe that these 3 men did nothing wrong. The prosecutor, in her statement, said that she felt that the defendants probably felt that way today, and proof of which is that the video...
I propose that every motherfucking black man in the state of Georgia take a jog through Satilla Shores. I propose that. I think it's a good motherfucking idea that every black man takes a jog through Satilla Shores neighborhood, especially where Ahmaud Arbery was murdered. And I say that because this black man right here just said that there are a lot of people who believe that they, the McMichaels, did nothing wrong. So there needs to be a statement made. Because if they believe that the Michaels did nothing wrong, then there's more killers out there. There's more killers out there. So we need a mass amount of black men taking a jog through Satilla Shores. How about it? Let me know in the chat. Put your comments in there. Blow it up.
Video that sort of exposed all of this was released by one of the defendants who at the time thought that it was going to exonerate him. These sentences today help disprove that notion. They are strong sentences: life in prison without parole for two of the other two defendants, life with parole for the third, and even in his case, he's 50-some years old right now. He will be 80 years old before he is even eligible for parole. So this is essentially life in prison for him as well. It is a powerful verdict. It was a powerful statement. None of this, of course, will bring back this young black man who was killed. But as you heard the judge today say, there is a need to change the perspective of what is right in the streets as it relates to a young black man who did nothing wrong and was jogging through a neighborhood. David?
Steve, the judge also told Americans who are watching that perhaps of our neighbors we should assume the best in them, not the worst, that perhaps is one of the greater lessons of this case. Steve pointed out that he talked about that piece of evidence with the McMichaels turning away from the crime after it was committed. He also talked about the 5 minutes that it was estimated that Ahmaud Arbery was running away from that pickup truck, and in a fairly dramatic fashion showed the court what just 1 minute feels like. The judge silent for 1 minute, saying that represents just a fraction of the time that Ahmaud Arbery was running from that vehicle. Again, moments ago, Travis McMichael, who shot Ahmaud Arbery and killed him, sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. His father given the same sentence, life without parole. The third man, William Roddie Bryans, the neighbor, life in prison with the possibility of parole. As Steve Ostensami points out moments ago, already in his 50s, that means he would be well into his 80s before any chance of getting out of prison. Our coverage will continue on ABC News Live, abcnews.com, and of course, I'll be back with the entire team a short time from now, a little later today for World.
Resisting Level is Futile put up a link of the McMichaels coming out in cuffs from the courthouse. And it's unfortunate because on the StreamYard chat, I'm not able to copy the link. But I'm going to try to find it anyway. And I haven't gone in, but I'm going to see if I can get them coming out. The McMichaels coming out of court.
Things that he pointed out is that Travis
And I'm not able to find anything with them coming out of court. I'm still searching. Here's
later this morning.
Here's Roddie's attorney speaking before the sentence.
And their neighbor, William Roddie Bryans, each face life in prison. A jury found the men guilty of chasing down and killing Arbery as he jogged in the Satilla Shores neighborhood in early 2020. That's in Brunswick, Georgia. The family is hoping for life in prison without the possibility of parole.
News for Jax reporter Ashley Harding is joining us live now outside the Glenn County Courthouse. Has followed this story since the very beginning. I know, Ashley, we heard from Arbery's aunt earlier, and now William Roddie Bryans' attorney is talking.
Good morning, you guys. Yes, Kevin Goff here is joining me now live. We're a couple of hours out. Question for you, Mr. Goff. Are we going to hear from your client this morning during that sentencing hearing?
We'll make that decision as we go this morning. But one of the things we'll be doing this morning is taking up motions. We'll be filing a motion this morning challenging the constitutionality of the mandatory life sentence for felony murder.
Shout-out's resistant level is futile. So McMichael's coming out of the courthouse feeling like shit with an asshole full of time. Here's Roddie. All of them seem as though they gained weight. They eating real good in there. Eating real good. Probably had the guards giving them first-class treatment. Gio is asking me, am I going to cover the Crumbly case? I'm not sure. I don't think so. Fook U says those boys going to get their cherry clapped. Is that what he trying to convey through the chat? Yeah, a lot of other things as well. They're going to get a lot of things clapped and smacked. That's McMichael's pulling out the courthouse with that good old life without parole. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Appreciate y'all joining in. I'm going to sign off. Early Saturday morning. I just put out a video. Check it out. I uploaded a video maybe about an hour ago. A little over an hour ago. Update of KTL, Al KTL, keeping them liable. Y'all should check that video out. See if I can pull up the thumbnail for y'all. All right, here we go. Little short video. Just to let y'all know, Al KTL is still relevant. Go over there and check it out. Well, actually, I said go over there and check it out. It's not on this channel. It's on my channel. I just uploaded it. But look for something in the future from Al KTL. He told me he was uploading something on his channel. Sorry for the misinformation a few seconds ago. But you can check this video out on my channel. And Al KTL will be releasing something shortly on his channel. Shout out Shardrick Sire. Resistant level is futile. Malcolm Painting. Geo, Spooky Press on Free, Local Resistor, Weymouth, UK, Rio, Fook You, everybody else, I appreciate you. Kendra Owen, Eddie Sanchez, Gemini 7, Snap Phase, Nelson Middleton, Jeremy Brulard. I'm out of here.